Welcome to episode 11 of the Before the Score podcast. Pablo, tell me, why is this such a special episode?
Well, Steve, tonight we have our first ever guest on the Before the Score podcast.
He is the genius behind the Sports Encyclopedia website, the star of the Allow Me to Be Frank podcast. To quote Dave Portnoy, he moonlights on a little website called Barstool Sports. You may know him as Frank the Tank or Frankie Midnight, but we know him as Frankie First Time. We here at the Before the Score podcast are honored to welcome Frank Fleming as our first ever guest on this podcast.
What's up, Frank? How's everyone doing? Just got back from a Devils game. Believe it or not, they actually friggin' won tonight.
It's about time, right? So, Frank, speaking of franchises that are in the dirt, I want to talk about the Mets offseason and your thoughts on that.
Well, they have the talent to win. We know that. Despite what... I think that the baseball should change their postseason format. I think that's a great idea. Thank you for that money, Mr. Manfred.
Speaking of Manfred, he doesn't want Cohen to be an owner.
Manfred.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you, what are your thoughts on the whole Mets and Cohen deal falling through? And do you think there's going to be another buyer sometime soon? Get the Wilpons out of here?
They have to get out of here. So from what I hear, they are just like... They are the Jar Jar Binks of the financial markets.
Yes, they are.
Misa made some poor investments. Misa missed my body he made them.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense because they're talking like they want to do a full-on auction for the team, but they had the perfect buyer in Cohen in the door. He's a Mets fan. He wants to buy the team, and they let it slip through their fingertips because the Wilpons are greedy.
He could sneak in there and buy it.
Yes, there was a little reports that he's still lurking around a little bit, so hopefully that relights.
Well, I heard something that was very frightening.
What's that?
Like I said, the Mets have a disaster scenario.
I think I know where you're going with this. Hit me, Frank.
And it's basically that they have to sell off a whole bunch of players.
That would be a disaster.
Everyone gets hurt is disaster scenario number 2.
Mm-hmm.
And disaster number 3 is getting an owner that's even worse. Dolan!
What is the bar for a worse owner than the Wilpons? Is it A-Rod? Who would it be?
James Dolan, gonna take them to the dirt.
You better not.
And tonight, welcome to Citi Field. And for your enjoyment, it's the James Dolan Jams Band.
I think if Dolan became the owner, I couldn't be a Mets fan anymore. I think that's where I gave up.
That'd be the final straw.
And today, James Dolan has released Jacob deGrom for saying that the James Dolan Jam Band sucks. James, you have the camera, the facial recognition. James Dolan's not good. In fact, they'll get rid of the Tom Seaver statue. They'll have the James Dolan statue, and every Met fan has to bow before it.
Kiss his feet.
Now, if James Dolan was the owner, you get the James Dolan Band. But if A-Rod was the owner, you might get J-Lo and Shakira in like the 7th inning stretch. I think I can go with that.
Nice. Replace the piano.
Good cardio right there.
The only thing the Mets, the A-Rod will need investors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think he's smart. But you need investors. He couldn't do it on his own.
Sort of like with Jeter and the Marlins. He wasn't the
Well,
sole
no,
owner.
that's been a dumpster fucking fire.
Yeah.
So
You
you don't
that.
want to base it off that, but the whole buying
We
it as
want
a
it
group.
to be more like Magic Johnson and his owning 5% of the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Still more than Jay-Z has of the Nets, though. You have a question?
Well, basically, I think with A-Rod, he would just kind of be the face of the New York Mets. Obviously, because he's not a billionaire, so he can't do it all by himself.
Yeah.
So I think somebody like A-Rod would actually be perfect, especially since they don't want to sell the team to Cohen. I mean, do you really blame him? I mean, if you're Cohen, why spend all this money and you can't do anything for 5 years?
Eventually, they're going to have to be forced to sell because basically Uncle Saul is sick.
Yeah.
Fred Wilpon is 86.
Yeah.
Saul Wilpon realizes that his nephew is Misa, the worst man in baseball. Misa have no clue.
Worst man in professional sports.
I think Jeff Wilpon has surpassed Fred Wilpon by this point.
Fred Wilpon is fucking genius compared to Jeff Wilpon. Jeff Wilpon has lost like millions on fucking esports.
He's prioritizing that over the Mets right now.
Yeah.
He would rather see the esports team win a championship than the Mets.
Yay! I play video game very good. Misa good at this. Misa good at Sega.
Oh no.
Frank, you're famous for your Mets freakouts. What's the worst loss you've ever witnessed, and what was your reaction to that?
The worst losses I've ever witnessed. Well, the worst playoff loss is Mike Scioscia's home run, Game 4 NLCS, 1988. Yes, they should have. They were so much better than Dodgers and just choked. Because Davey Johnson's a total fucking buffoon.
He's not as bad as Mickey Callaway, though.
And the worst regular season losses.
I know where he's
I
going,
would say it's a tie.
I think I know one of them.
I definitely know one of them.
What's it between?
And tonight, even though he gave up 7 runs and blew a 6-1 lead in the 9th inning.
Hey, at least that wasn't a playoff game. That would have been extra.
Yes.
That would have been extra brutal.
Yeah.
And it's a pop-up. And the Mets are going to take the first game in Yankee Stadium. Louie! Oh, baby, you really suck.
Well, Frank, you know what's funny about that game? I'm not sure if you know this. I'm actually a Yankee fan, so I remember that. I remember going to that game, and that was the first ever game in the new Yankee Stadium. Yankees.
By the way, you know my table, right? You've seen my table.
I've seen your table, but now since I brought out the Yankees, I just got to go wear the hat.
But you've seen my table, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen your table.
I flipped that table over when Luis Castillo dropped that fly ball.
Well, I just remember being at the game, and my dad and I were like, "Oh, here comes A-Rod. You know, we're expecting him to do something." He pops up. We turn around, and I'm gonna be honest. I never saw Castillo drop the ball. I just heard the crazy reaction from the crowd, and then I just remember going nuts immediately. It was one of the craziest games I had ever been to.
Yeah,
Luis Castillo was he must have had the greatest steroids in the world when he was at the Florida Marlins, because this guy actually was a 300 hitter. He had like a 40 game hit, he had a hitting streak that was like one of the top hitting streaks. He had like a 35, 36 game hitting streak. Yeah, and of course against the Mets, he was an 870 hitter with like 90% of his home runs came against the Mets. He was like Vince Coleman, Ricky Henderson stealing bases against the Mets, and all of a sudden he goes to the Mets. It's like
that's every free agent, every trade they've ever made for.
Luis Castillo, every team would play 6 infielders. Yeah, when he came in, he had no ability to get the ball to the outfield.
He was a joke. He was. They should have signed David Eckstein. I remember they were talking about him back then.
Do you realize that the things went to fucking pot in 2007? Mm-hmm. You know when it went to fucking pot? When they fucking acquired Luis Castillo.
Yep.
I'm actually sort of surprised the 2006 Game 7 wasn't in there.
Well, it's up there.
Yeah.
But those are the three. I mean,
those are despicable.
The Mets are the first team ever to actually get hurt by scoring runs in the 9th inning. Mm-hmm. Because if they didn't score those runs in the 9th inning, Seth Lugo would have pitched the 9th inning.
Yep.
And Seth Lugo would have got the save. But nope.
Mickey
Callaway, who can't pitch Seth Lugo 2 nights in a row anyway, took him out the game because, that would have been overkill. You don't want to humiliate and rub the dirt in the nose. I am a long, long way together in the sunshine and the rain. I mean, it really loud. Every time he lost, it sounded like he was about to start singing "Praise You." I actually think he fought the urge to sing to even do the performance. You know that dance, na na na.
Yep.
Yeah.
I actually think he's in that music video.
It probably is.
Yeah. Yeah. The Mets losses, oh man. And this year was especially tough. But I think the future is a little bright for us. I like the way Rojas looks. What's your feelings on Luis Rojas?
We'll see. We'll see. He's definitely keeping things close to the vest. I think he's going with the philosophy less is more.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he did the first day he became manager. He brought the Bill Belichick's book of cliches.
Yeah.
That's painful.
Well, Frank, I actually have a question for you. Now, Luis Rojas, obviously he was not a part of the plan. The train somewhere, it derailed. Now, were you excited to have Carlos Beltran as your manager? And what are your thoughts on Carlos Beltran and the turnout, with this whole scandal around him?
I was actually starting to buy into Carlos Beltran.
Mm-hmm.
As was I, yeah.
I know you were actually a defender. You're one of the few people who defended Beltran and didn't want him fired when this whole news story broke.
I mean, it's ridiculous. How does a guy on the Mets get burnt for something the fucking Houston assholes did?
Only
Yep.
the Mets.
Yep.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. I was disappointed.
And meanwhile, we there's video of Joe Girardi describing how to steal signs. Nope, nothing to see here. Nothing. I mean, is it me or is Rob Manfred starting to look like Officer Barbrady from South Park? No, I don't see or Clancy Wiggum from The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely think that the Rob Manfred was very, very weak in his punishment of the Houston assholes. What do you think?
Well, it's just a piece of tin. It's not. Why would we take the World Series? Now, first off, I don't think they should take any. I am so against stripping people of championships.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I think it's ridiculous. I don't care. Lance Armstrong still won all those Tour de France's. And by the way, you're really going to strip Lance Armstrong of all those Tour de France's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know who was not cheating?
Ooh.
Jean-Claude Gilly, who was an 85-year-old man who was riding in the Tour de France just for the experience of it.
Just for the fun.
That was the only guy that wasn't juicing.
Jean-Claude.
So switching gears, we'll talk about the Devils. You were just at the game tonight. So we saw a couple trades.
I swear to God, it had to be fucking sabotage that Ray Shero did such a poor job with this team. I mean,
Terrible.
Nico Hischier he's showing signs of life this year.
He's still
Jack
young.
Hughes
Yeah.
knows what's going to happen with him, but his draft picks have been atrocious.
Atrocious.
Michael McLeod.
Oh my God! Don't get me started, Frank.
Where the fuck is Michael McLeod? How is this guy not playing in the NHL? And not only that, he's got like 2 goals and 3 assists and a negative 96 career in the AHL.
Yeah, I don't understand either.
They said that Michael McLeod. They actually decided that they played a charity game against the Mites on Ice.
Yeah.
And he got checked and a concussion from one of the Mites on Ice.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't get their plan. Like they said they wanted to get younger.
Now they get rid of Louis Domingue, Louis Domingue is not a good goalie.
No.
Mackenzie Black playing really good.
Yeah, the game especially tonight.
They bring back Corey Schneider. This guy's
Where's he
like this guy's like the fucking clap. Just so you think you could get rid of him.
He's made of glass.
I mean, they had beach day at the for the Devils at Point Pleasant a couple of months ago over the summer, and they were playing beach hockey, which with a beach ball.
Yeah.
And 10 out of 10 shots got by Corey Schneider, and no, giant beach ball. In fact, 106-year-old Rosa Marie Vasquez was able to put the beach ball past
106-year-old.
So what's the deal with like the Blake Coleman trade? That's the one trade I didn't get. I understand Andy Green, but Blake Coleman? What are we doing?
I mean, supposedly Foot's a good prospect, and they're getting a draft pick, and I guess they're going on the notion sell high, but
they did get a first round. Yeah,
Blake Coleman is the type of player you want to build around.
Yeah, he's still young. He's got another year on his contract.
I mean, okay, maybe he's a little old. He played in the minor leagues for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they're hoping that one day Michael McLeod wakes up and turns into Blake Coleman.
We can only hope.
Yeah. I mean, Michael McLeod. Bum 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 bum. He is an absolute. But you know, I've now figured it out. This was sabotage. Ray Shero hates the Devils.
Yep.
Ray Shero's father coached the Flyers, won 2 Stanley Cups with the Flyers, and took the Rangers to the Stanley Cup final. Mm-hmm. And then Ray Shero himself built the Penguins.
Yep.
So the 3 biggest Devil rivals, other than the Islanders, who were, who've been wandering the desert for 1,000 years. So these 3 are basically 3 of the Devil's biggest rivals. And Ray Shero was involved in either one of them. So he hears him, oh, yeah? Yeah, you think that the Rangers suck and the Flyers swallow? Well, I'll tell you what. Oh, and Crosby watches? Hey, Sidney Crosby made my career. God damn it, I'm going to ruin this fucking team.
Yup, that's exactly
Might
it.
be some sabotage involved there.
Yeah, you brought up selling high on like these prospects, but I mean, at the end of the day, you have to hit on the picks. I mean, is there any panic in you with the way that Heischer and Hughes have progressed? Because they're lottery picks and they haven't really lived up to the
Heischer
billing.
has finally shown something this year.
Mm-hmm.
What about Hughes?
Hughes, I don't know.
He's 18, yeah, but I mean, top pick in the draft, you gotta.
Hughes probably would have been better off maybe playing on a lower level this year.
Mm-hmm. I'm a big Ranger fan, Frank.
I mean, he's 18 years old, but he looks like he's 14.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, literally.
And he's pushed around, and I think, and of course, Ray Shero's husband, John Hynes. I mean, it was almost to the point where I thought he was going to be like Whitney Houston. I will always love you. I mean, the devotion to John Hynes.
Yeah.
John Hynes is an atrocious coach, and I think this is the reason this whole season got fucked up. Mm-hmm. Whatever went wrong in preseason.
Yep.
The Devils, literally, when they get on the power play, they think that they have to pass the puck 900 times. They think they have to do swirls and the ice capades and dancing on ice and a triple Lutz. I mean, it's like Johnny
everyone's scared to shoot.
I mean, the hesitation, their attack, the passing backwards, the passes across the middle, the fundamental hockey that this team just lacks all year, the giveaways. Every night they have like 20 giveaways, and that whatever went wrong in the preseason, and it went wrong with John Hynes. The opening night when they blew that 4-0 lead, John Hynes should have been fired.
Yeah,
honestly,
what is John Hynes? Yeah, there's no reason he should have been around for so long. What did he do for the Devils?
John Hynes, they let him linger for 2 months,
and
it ruined the whole season. And of course, you know who didn't help? It's all about me. It's all about mine. You see, I live in New Jersey. They even named Ham after me. That Taylor Ham. I'm Taylor Hall. You notice what's happened since he's gone out to Arizona? The Coyotes have gone,
Yep.
And they want to trade him to another team already. He's on the block again.
Yeah, that's not working. They basically said nope.
Yeah,
Not working. Nope.
So I know you were one of the
the guy they got for him was Merkley. Actually scored on Sunday, but he was out today. He got like a nice shiner or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I know you were one of the leaders against John Hynes the whole first quarter of the season. Do you credit yourself at all with him being fired?
It had to happen. Even Stevie Wonder's going, why is this guy still coach? I mean, how did the fucking Predators hire him?
Yeah.
And how do we fucking lose to the Predators with him? And Elaine Nazardine is not the answer. Not the answer. He's John Hynes Jr.
Yep.
We got two good coaches out there. I want one of them. I don't care who. I want one of them. Gerald Gallant, Peter Laviolette. I want one of them.
Gallant would be a home run hire for the Devils. I was shocked he got fired.
Whatever would happen, what that guy. That's a guy who took the Panthers to the playoffs, and the next year they got off to a slow start, and they fired him. And basically, they fired him on the road and told him find a hotel, find a cab. And get back.
We're not flying you back.
So he's outside the arena trying to catch an Uber. And then he takes an expansion team to the Stanley Cup final.
Yeah.
And it's like...
It's unbelievable, his track record.
That the Golden Knights, okay, they've not been as good as they were that first year. Mm-hmm. But come on, they're still a playoff contender.
Yeah.
Still a playoff contender. They might make the playoffs each of their first 3 seasons as an expansion team. Mm-hmm. They're still an expansion team. You forgot they're an expansion team.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Speaking of high picks in the draft.
They got spoiled. That's what it is. They got spoiled. And Gerald Gallant would be a perfect fit for the Devils.
Let's hope.
I mean, to me, I think last year Hynes should have been fired.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
And I think they should have hired Joe Quenneville.
Yeah, Quenneville was the hottest person to hire. I was shocked he was not hired like immediately as soon as he got fired. He took such a long time to pick his destination.
He didn't take that long though.
Yeah. Well,
you know what? You know what it is? You get fired in the middle of the season. You want to wait to the end of the season maybe to get your next job.
See what the openings are and everything.
Yeah, that's just like an interim move. You just want somebody to finish the season. You don't, You want to grow with the team from the beginning, from the practice squads.
To me, the big name coaches, he wasn't out long. He was out half a season.
Right.
Yeah, and he got that's not nothing.
Mm-hmm. Frank, we know you're a big Dolphins fan. We want to know, who do you want them to draft this year?
I wish someone would go to Joe Burrow and tell him, no, you go to Cincinnati, your career is going to get ruined.
Yep.
Ruined.
He's going to rot there.
Maybe
you'll
rot
in
Eli
Cincinnati.
Manning.
Rot in Cincinnati. Do the John Elway. And the Dolphins have 3 number 1 draft picks. They could go, hello, Cincinnati. We got 3 draft picks, and we'll even throw in Josh Rosen. Here's perfect for you.
Might as well throw him in there. Yeah, because right now I think Mel Kiper has the Dolphins at 5 taking Justin Herbert because the Lions at 3 are looking at Tua.
Yeah, I know.
You don't look too happy about that.
HARRIGTON spells Harrington. Justin Herbert is going to be Joey Harrington part D.
Yeah.
Every Oregon quarterback since Dan Fouts is the lone exception. That was 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Has been a bust personified.
Right.
I mean, if you're gonna go for Oregon quarterback, why not just draft offensive lineman and running back and sign Marcus Mariota?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they could always look at Marcus Mariota, even Jameis Winston. You never know with those type of quarterbacks.
Jameis Winston, the human interception machine.
Hey, you just got the LASIK eye surgery.
EW.
He's a bizarre person. I don't want him. He's bizarre. He's weird.
I mean, he's getting that eye surgery now, so maybe, his interceptions and everything goes down, Interceptions down, touchdowns up.
Pablo thought he turned into like a touchdown throwing cyborg.
Yeah, that's what I'd figured,
I mean, he's the first player in NFL history with 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions.
Yeah, pretty impressive. I'm not gonna lie.
It is 5,000 yards too. I got to give the Dolphins credit though. I really like Brian Flores. I think that route as a coach, Brian Flores is going to be very successful in Miami, but it might take a few years.
They just need to pick the right quarterback. I mean, I don't care what Ryan Tannehill did in Tennessee. He still sucks.
Oh yeah, you watched that firsthand.
I mean, the running back is the reason why he had that great year.
Yep.
That's who carried the team. I mean, even in both the playoff wins, he had under 100 yards.
That's insane.
The last time a quarterback won 2 playoff games in the same year and had under 100 yards was Terry Bradshaw. And
wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, you go back to the 70s, that was Franco Harris and everything.
That's when you had Franco Harris. Franco-Harris and Rocky Bleier. The Dolphins actually did that too in 1 year.
Really?
Well, the year they won their second Super Bowl, Bob Greasy had Bob Greasy in Super Bowl 8.
Yeah.
Only threw 8 passes.
Hey, if the run's working, just keep going with it.
Oh my God.
And that was like Larry Zonker asked for 140 yards in that game by himself, and you had Jim Kick and Rookie Rojas also carrying the ball, and Zonker like dragging half the Minnesota Vikings down the field.
Yep.
Yeah, so I know you've experienced this firsthand. Can you justify why your former head coach, my current head coach, Adam Gase, is still a head coach in the league?
He knows secrets. Deep, dark secrets.
Him and his crazy eyes.
He knows
that Chris Johnson.
He knows where the bodies are buried.
There must be something we're missing here, because obviously he alienates
the players. Mm-hmm. Jamal Adams wants out because of him. So you're going to see Jamal Adams become a superstar. This is what you're going to see. You'll see Jamal Adams get traded to the Browns. The Browns will go, oh, well, Here, New England.
So
and then you see the Patriots. New England. 18 Pro Bowls with the Patriots, 10 Super Bowls.
It's never gonna end.
500 interceptions. He'll have a 10 interception game against the Jets in their first time.
It's only fitting, right?
Well, Frank, you know what's funny, right? I have something on this show, on the Before the Score podcast, I've diagnosed as Odell Beckhamitis. And there's just something about Odell Beckham, their quarterback.
Baker Mayfield, yeah.
It's all me. It's all it's all being in the spotlight, doing outlandish things.
Odell Beckham says, "No, there ain't no I in team." But I tell you what, they got the letters M-E, and even though they might be reversed, all I care about is me.
That might be an actual Odell Beckham Jr. quote.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, when you look at a guy like Odell Beckham, and I don't want to go off track here. I think, there was even talk about him possibly being a target for the Jets. And in my opinion,
he listens to the NFL films, and it's love me some me. I am the best.
Yeah. Just think about how fun an Adam Gase and Odell Beckham Jr. clash would be with the media.
Oh man,
that's perfect.
Yeah,
it's already enough.
You'll see Sam Darnold go. You'll have Sam Darnold at Bellevue going like this.
You'll be seeing 2 ghosts instead of 1 this time.
He'll be at the Ann Klein Forensic Center.
Oh no. I work in Trenton. I work right there.
Yeah. So, Frank, you were at the first XFL game. I want to know your thoughts on that league.
It's minor league football at its best. What can I say? And Matt McGloin. I mean, it sounds like your video game character got killed. That's what his name sounds like. McGloin.
And he's looking like a me guy. I mean, he called out the whole team after the second loss. He's got the Odell Beckhamitis.
Well, he's a washout in the NFL. He was at Penn State when the whole shit hit the fan.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, he's one of the great quarterbacks that have gone for the Oakland Raiders. I mean, Matt McGloin, what's going on? We got to change the whole fucking game plan. We all suck out there. Okay, they changed the game plan. Matt, you sit.
Get him on the
part
bench.
of the game plan change. Get you out of there.
He was the problem.
I mean, it was such a change of grace because I know you were there, obviously, Frank. You saw how great the atmosphere was for that first game, at MetLife Stadium for the Guardians. I thought that Matt McGloin was going to reestablish his career, and the way this guy just completely shit on his team. He shit on his team, and to be honest, I thought this was going to be a second chance for him, to maybe possibly one day get another snap in the NFL.
Did you hear the XFL called up and basically called up and said Colin Kaepernick said you could come play for the league. He says, no, I want $20 million.
Wow.
They have a better chance of bringing Andrew Luck back than Colin Kaepernick.
I mean, does that not show you that he's a fraud?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Absolutely.
$20 million. To play in that league?
NFL's not even offering that much.
Every time he looks like he's on the verge of opening the door for himself, he does something to shit on it.
Mm-hmm. He was close. He was right there with that workout.
And he makes it look like, oh, look, they're being unfair against me. They want me to train at their facility. I want to go. No, I'm going to this high school.
All right, we'll switch gears a little bit here. And what we do at the end of our show usually is we have a 30-second discussion. Each of us get 30 seconds, and it's called What's in the Cards. And one card we got a couple weeks ago, they got a little buzz, was we each had to make a case for the most annoying fan base. In your opinion, what is your most annoying fan base to you?
I could go almost one for each sport.
Got to pick one, Frank. Who's the worst?
If you were to rant on one team and just completely crap on the entire fan base, the entire franchise, who would it be?
Is he wearing the hat?
I hope not.
No.
No?
No.
There you go.
Most annoying fan base. I would have to maybe go with the Atlanta Braves with that goddamn it tomahawk chop. It is so played out, and the fans won't even do it. It's just the organist half the time.
Yep.
And they can't sell out playoff games.
Right.
They don't even play in Atlanta anymore. They play in fucking Cobb County. I mean, just the Braves, and of course, then you go to every Philadelphia team.
Yeah, I said Eagles personally. I thought the Eagles were the worst. They got some scummy fans.
Oh, well, the Eagle fans are they drag their knuckles when they walk. Mama Eagle, it's like Tonto, Tarzan, and Frankenstein.
A mix of all three. Yeah. Eagles was definitely our pick. Frank, we wanted to ask you about Barstool Sports.
Here's another annoying fan base.
Go right ahead.
The Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, absolutely.
When the Dallas Cowboys are winning, you see everyone wearing the Dallas Cowboys shirt. We're America's team. We're going to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
And then the Cowboys lose 2 in a row, and all of a sudden it's, where have all the Cowboy fans gone? Ooh, do. Where have all the Cowboy fans gone?
Thank God in my lifetime I haven't had to see a Cowboy Super Bowl win, because that would just be the worst.
It might even be 10 times worse now because of all the Cowboy and ex-Cowboys are announcers. I mean, whenever the Cowboys were winning and Troy Aikman and Joe Buck are both like crowing on there. And then it's almost like you want to hear the ultimate call. This Hello, darkness, my old friend. I'll be here from you again. That's what every broadcast sounds like when the Cowboys are losing.
It gets hard to watch at a certain point. That's for sure.
I mean, you can almost hear him crying.
Yeah.
Blue eyes crying in the rain.
They should just ban him from every Cowboys game. Just get him out of the booth.
Well, he does every Cowboy game.
Yeah, I know, exactly. It's America's game of the week somehow every week.
Every week.
Unbelievable.
Especially the Cowboys-Eagles game, week 16. He was depressed when the Eagles beat them. I personally enjoyed watching it, but it was bittersweet watching the Eagles.
I mean, you can almost see, it's almost like ding, 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 ding. It's almost like you can see the tear coming out of his eyes. It's almost like the Michael Jordan meme is what Troy turns into whenever the Cowboys.
Yeah. Frank, we want to know, what is your funniest memory about working at Barstool Sports?
The funniest memory about working at Barstool Sports. Might be when I was at the Barstool at the Park last year.
Yeah.
I think that might be it.
We're gonna try to go to that this year, so
yeah,
we're gonna be there this year.
Yeah, it looks like a fun time.
I mean, it was, especially the one where there was one where Ed Luz Diaz almost blew the game.
Oh man, that would have been the nail in the coffin right there.
And he gave up a double down the right field line. He had a 3-run lead in the ninth inning that he came in, and he almost blew it. He gave up 2 runs, and Jeff McNeil threw out the tying run coming home.
Yes, I remember.
Oh yeah, I remember that game now. Yep.
Don't remind me.
And what was funny is, as he's falling apart, I'm singing, "We're bringing on the heartache."
Yeah, it was a tough season at Citi Field this year, so at least that was a good memory there.
Yeah.
So Frank, you also like to do hot dog reviews, and of course your Frank's taste test. We want to know what's the worst thing you've ever had at the taste test.
My hot dog reviews. Hopefully, I get my editor who gets back on track. He's had some computer glitches too.
Oh man, that's
I have one that he needs to edit for me, and then we could get that going again.
Yeah,
and then I need to start recording some again.
Yeah,
I mean, when Crocs didn't get retained, I lost my everything on that one.
Yeah, that was tough. He was good too. I enjoyed watching those.
Yep.
Well, Frank, I actually
talked a little too much, but he was all right.
Yeah, he did talk a lot.
Frank, I actually have a question. What is on your ideal hot dog? What would be on the Frank the Tank hot dog?
Plain.
Yeah,
plain,
just plain?
Yeah, raw dogging with Frank.
You like the raw dog, Frank?
Yes. No. I don't like mustard. I don't like ketchup. I don't like relish. And by the way, ketchup on a hot dog?
Sin.
That should be grounds for flogging.
You're gonna put anything on it.
That's a grounds for a ground. That's a paddling. That's a paddling.
I like hot sauce in my hot dog.
Here we go.
Hot sauce.
Hot sauce, ketchup, and mayo.
Wow.
I'll tell you that.
Mayonnaise. I'll eat a hot dog again.
I just like it if you mix it all together and you put some fried onions and bacon.
You're gonna give Frank nightmares.
Yeah.
One thing that they put on hot dogs with the hot sauce with the onions, which are good with dirty water dogs.
Yeah,
absolutely, yes.
Of course, onions do a number on my stomach, so I'll
try to stay away from those.
I mean, onion. I could do onion rings, but it's like the raw onion, like really like does a number on my stomach.
Yeah.
Well, there are a lot of dirty water dog trucks in the area where you're from, in Newark especially. I mean,
and I've done a lot of them. I've already done reviews of them.
Yeah, they're awesome. Tony's,
Tony's my favorite of the group.
Tony's is awesome. Yeah.
JJ's is good.
JJ's
too.
as well.
Chris is kind of lags behind the two of them.
Yeah.
Frank, speaking of the best and the worst, what's the worst thing you've tasted on your Frank's taste test?
would still have to be the hummus.
The hummus? I thought it might be the KFC hot Cheeto sandwich.
Well, that thing was nasty. I mean, it really was, but the hummus tastes like fucking dirt.
Speaking of food, I just want to bring up one thing from it was like last year. What happened with the Uber Eats driver that never showed up?
Who knows?
They made off with your meal.
Yeah. Well, at least I got the fucking refund. I had the adventure one time at work too.
Really?
Well, you know I work at the courthouse, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So I called DoorDash, and all of a sudden I get a call. No, need to come down the block. I can't come through. I can't come there. No. I can't come in court. Can't come. Too many cops there. No, can't come in.
Really? What kind of Uber Eats and DoorDash drivers are you getting?
I know this guy's name is Jose, so.
Here we go, Jose.
You got some bad luck with Uber Eats.
And I tried to order a fucking Italian hot dog that day from Dickie D's.
Oh, Dickie D's is amazing. I was actually just going to bring that up. Dickie D's is phenomenal. Their Italian hot dogs, world famous. They're amazing.
You know, I did that. I did a hot dog review on them.
Yeah.
Awesome. You guys have to go. We all have to go.
Yeah. We should try it out.
Frank, we got to do a hot dog review one day. You and
All
Pablo
right,
are
well,
hitting
we can
off.
find someplace.
Yeah. I'm sure there's somewhere that you haven't gotten yet that we could go to.
I want to do more. I want to do more. I want to do a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Well, since we're talking about food, do you like Top's Diner? I mean, it's not too far away from where you're at.
Overrated.
Overrated,
Wow.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, I thought you would love their pizza burger. I think it's phenomenal, through the roof.
They're just a lot of hype. They're good, but they're not over the world. I actually prefer the Arlington Diner.
Arlington Diner, Arlington Diner is good too. I mean, in my opinion, I've been to Top's Diner too many times to argue Arlington Diner over it. But you know,
I mean, then you got the whatchamacallit, it's a little bit is the Lyndhurst Diner.
I've never even been there. I got to put that on my bucket list. Frank the Tank recommended me to go to the Lyndhurst Diner.
Well,
Right.
just think about it this way. It's a straight line. You know the Passaic River, right?
Yes.
Well, just like the Arlington Diner is right there over the bridge from Belleville to North Arlington and Kearney.
Okay. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking.
The Lyndhurst Diner is straight down, same road, except it's by the bridge that separates Nutley from Lyndhurst.
Okay.
Interesting.
We'll have to go there. We'll have to take a trip there and then let you know how it goes. That'd be good.
They have good breakfast, but their burgers are.
Frank, so Dave Portnoy has been around our area now reviewing some pizza. What's your favorite pizza? And give me a place that he should review.
Dave has already reviewed one of them. The two of the places I really like.
Mm-hmm.
Pizza
You remember
Land.
the scores?
Pizza Land, I think he gave like a mediocre type of review to.
From
Yeah.
The Sopranos, Pizza Land.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I know Ralph's in Nutley. He gave
Yeah.
a real high score to.
Wow.
Yeah, I watched that one. Yeah, I remember that one.
And Ralph's in Nutley is really good, except they don't deliver.
Oh, you got to pick up.
Yeah, that's tough.
You got to have some damn good pizza to not deliver.
I mean, unless
Yeah.
you have a guy named Jose who's, he might not be able to deliver
To the courthouse.
to the courthouse, but he'll definitely deliver to wherever you live.
But they don't do delivery. They don't even do Uber Eats. They don't do Slice. They don't do Dash.
Wow, that's disappointing.
DoorDash. So they don't do. If you want to get a Ralph's pizza, you have to go pick it up.
What kind of pizza they selling over there, huh?
You can't get it through your window. That's disappointing.
Yeah. So I'd probably go to Ralph's a lot more if they delivered.
Yeah.
Frank, to finish it off, we just wanted to know what advice you have for aspiring sports journalists.
Just keep writing about sports, talking about sports, blogging about sports.
Mm-hmm. It's the grind.
So Zonak, our producer Zonak wanted to ask you a question, actually, if you don't mind. You'll hear the audio from him.
He's wearing the Mets jersey you loved at the Mets game in the club seats. The 93 jerseys, I think.
Yeah, I think that, yeah.
The old one, so.
Did I meet him?
Yeah,
Yeah.
He was wearing the mint-colored shorts and the funny jersey.
Frank, do you want me to come over there and show you on camera?
Yeah, because I think I remember you invited me down to the
box.
suite that one day.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I remember that jersey, and yeah, I think you didn't believe me that actually was a jersey.
Yeah, we thought it was fake.
We've got the big
Yeah,
hogs.
we did though. It was.
I mean,
the
that
producer
is
right there.
that is such an ugly jersey. And the road uniform didn't look any better. The road uniform had the same underscore, and the batting practice, the blue one, had the same thing with the blue with the orange.
Yeah.
Of course, I tweeted out a picture of it this week when Tony Fernandez died.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Tony Fernandez. He died of kidney disease, and that just reminds me of what his Mets tenure was like. He was at the Mets for like 2 months in the '93 season, and everything's just falling apart. He was like the off-season acquisition in '93. They hoped to shore up their shortstop position. They said goodbye to Kevin Elster and everything. So he was supposed to and he was always a good player. And the entire time with the Mets, kidney stones. He's at kidney stones. He's batting like 180, had a whole bunch of errors, and this guy's a short-handed glove. And all of a sudden, they traded for Darren Jackson, who was just a total bum.
Yeah.
I think he does White Sox baseball now, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Or he did White Sox baseball once. And was a total bum with the Mets. This is the 59-103 Mets with that stupid fucking jersey.
No wonder why they ditched it so quick.
The 2 years they wore it was 15. They went 59-103 and then had a strike year.
Yeah. What are your opinion on bringing back the black jerseys? I mean, Pete Alonso was calling back for him. Stroman wanted them.
If they do, I don't want it to be an everyday jersey.
Yeah, like a Sunday
It would be
jersey.
like a Friday night.
Yeah, something.
But I prefer the blue.
I do like the blue.
Yeah.
The blue
Yeah, the
looks
blue
clean.
is very nice.
A lot more success in the blue, too.
Yep.
But it would hurt the black jersey as they started wearing it too often.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, they wore it way too much. It should be like an alternate, not mixed into their primary jerseys.
And to me, it doesn't mesh well with Citi Field.
Yeah, it'll mesh a lot better with Shea Stadium than with Citi Field.
Yeah.
Well, do you actually like the new jerseys? Do you like how Nike has like the
Fuck
logo?
no.
You don't like it. You don't like it.
I mean,
Now,
that's
as
pretty
a Yankee fan, I think the Nike checkmark over the logo looks disgusting. It's a sin for baseball.
I mean, could he have made it any bigger?
Yeah.
You would have the interlocking NY will be over here like this, and you have the big old swoosh, whoosh.
It's right.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
Zonak.
It's too big, and of course, the fucking new era hats.
Yeah.
I love the new era hats.
No.
They don't match.
Huh? Oh, they don't match, but I think the new era hats they're perfect.
So Zonak had a question for you about Sports Encyclopedia.
So, Frank, you don't obviously see me on the camera right now, but so what made you want to make the Sports Encyclopedia? Like, how the idea come to be?
Something to keep me busy between college and finding a job.
That's
And what it turned into is this great website.
And now I'm finally starting to get it updated.
Yeah, I've been seeing all your updates every day, pretty much.
Yeah, I just
You got
need
a lot of
more,
people helping you out.
Just more, some more people to help me.
Yeah.
Add some teams, and once I get the hang of the new WordPress, I could probably start doing it faster. And of course, if I'm doing so many other things, so that's always keeping me busy, but slowing me down. But
Yeah. Better to be busy than not be busy. So.
yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, so if you're hearing this, Frank needs some help updating the teams. So get to this man. Help this man update the Sports Encyclopedia.
I mean, I still got to put up my blog for tonight. it's a great story. This one.
What's a little preview of it?
A player who would rather retire than shave.
Wow.
Well, I'll be tuning in.
And I just think it's a good reason. This guy has the most iconic mustache in the history of baseball.
Oh, Don Mattingly.
No.
Raleigh Fingers.
Yep.
Oh, there
That's a good
sense.
That's a good second guess.
There you go.
Raleigh Fingers got released by the Brewers. Only team that would sign him was the Reds, and the Reds had a strict no mustache policy, which of course was accepted by didn't apply to their owner Ava Braun. I mean Marchot. I mean she was the only she actually tried to get them to sing Deutschland über alles before every game.
It's been something.
That's a sight to see right there. Yep.
I mean, she actually had the fucking armband in her desk drawer. You know which armband I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I'm not talking about the Cincinnati Reds armband.
Yep.
I'm talking about the armband.
Oh no.
Frank, we'd like to thank you so much for being our first ever guest on the Before the Score podcast.
All right, it was my pleasure.
Thank you, man.
It's always great talking to you,
Thank
Frank.
Thank you, Frank.
Really appreciate it.
All right, I'll see you around.
See you around, Frank. Thank you again.
Thanks for everything.
Have a good night.
All right, bye.